keeps us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good afternoon. I forgot to share that I was actually going live. I don't think it's going to make much of a difference. Not going to make much of a difference. I didn't like my background, so I changed it. Yeah. I think that's a lot more appropriate. I need something for a ceiling, though. Up here. Yeah. And over here. It's a little too blank. I need to put something on that wall over there. But I figured, you know what the steps and traditions are. And then I like that better. There's a little bit of color. I don't know. I have to have it up there because, well, I have a camera and it's a yellow room, and yellow is really hard to work with lighting. It makes it too bright. And what happens is yeah. So anyway, yeah, this is the shit I got to deal with before I can even go live. Because you can't see me or hear me. I know people are looking at the background. You're not staring at my face the whole time. I know that. Well, you might. I don't know. Stole this one out of As Bill Sees It. I'm going to be in the big book. Don't look at that password. And we're going to be in Alcoholics. We're going to be in the big book, page 53. Page 53. I'll get started about 3-minute mark here. Per as usual. You guys probably don't even see the timer. I just assume that you see it. Commented on my video. Is it not working? Is it the right one? No, that was the last one. Okay. I don't think you're on the right one. I think somebody's watching the other one. What can I do to... Here we go. Here we go. Did I change that? I did. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go here, and then I'll go to here, and then send it to Messenger to her, so she can be on the right one. And bada bing, bada boom, all done. All right. If they have Messenger. I don't know if she has Messenger or not. I just know that they're probably watching the other one. It gets a little mixed up sometimes, yeah. She said I got stuck in a rewatch. All right. Well, I didn't even have to say nothing. It put it in there for me. Enjoy the rewatch. That's scary. That's scary that it knows what I'm going to say. I don't like that. Because I'm being watched. I don't like that. I don't like people spying on me. You like people spying on you? I don't like people spying on me. You spying on me? Welcome to Daily Trudge. My name is Dion. Hi, Ingrid. You figured you'd come to the live one? You were on that. You were on the rewatch earlier. If you're here, please say hello while you're watching the live or the rewatch. You know, you can make a difference. You can. And, you know, I think I found another home group, which I think is I can. I think I can. I think I found a new home group, and they were willing to make some changes and stuff. So that's a good sign. Hi, Patricia. Good to see you. Good to see you. Good evening to you. It's afternoon for us, but good evening to you. It's just neat. I love AA so much. I do. Um, you know, somebody had brought up, I get where they're coming from. I really do. But somebody wanted to um, put money aside from the group, and they called it. Anytime we call it anything than what it is, it just can't. And it broke tradition 6. We couldn't do it. We couldn't do it. We cannot. You cannot take AA money and give it to an outside enterprise. No, no, or people will not donate. They won't put in the basket. No, all the money that gets put in that basket goes back to help other alcoholics. If it's not for that, I don't donate. I give my time. I give a lot of time. So much time that I don't have a job and I can't donate. So I give a lot of time. Yeah, but I feel like my time's pretty valuable, man. It's worth more than $1 an hour, I can tell you that. All right, so it said 53, 54, I believe. It did. All right. So big book, page 53. You probably don't have it if you're at the doctor's office, though. Logic is great stuff. We liked it. We still like it. It's not by chance that we were given the power to reason, to examine the evidence of our senses, and to draw conclusions. It's what the brain is for. It's what it's used for. See, I was even misusing my brain. Wasn't doing it right. Right? So I was given the power to reason. I'm much better at it now. You know, the problem is I was a rule breaker. The rules were put there for me to break. That was what I thought. The challenge was breaking the rules and not getting caught. That was the challenge. And I became very good at it. You remember I lived in this one place called the Arapaho Shelter. I dated. I went out on dates. They didn't know. They had no fucking idea that I had left for 3-4 hours. Nope. No, they were too busy gabbing away in the counselor room, and no, we had watchouts. Okay, anyway. That is one of man's magnificent attributes. We agnostically inclined would feel satisfied with a proposal which does not lend itself to a reasonable prose and interpretation. That includes finding God. It has to be reasonable. Well, when you come into the program and you see other people working the program with success, something can start to happen, right? So we're using reason here, okay? Logic, reasoning. Yeah. Hence, we are at pains to tell why we think our present faith is reasonable, why we think it more sane and logical to believe than not to believe, why we say our former thinking was soft and mushy when we threw up our hands in doubt and said, we don't know. Oh, what the first honest thing to say in AA? That was the first honest thing I said. I don't know. I don't know anymore. And even to this day, I still don't know. I don't know what it is that I'm supposed to know. I mean, that's why I need guidance. See, God is my teacher, and He puts me in situations so that I can go through things with His strength, with His guidance, so I can come out on the other end and say, hey, you could do it too. I'll even go with you. I got time. I'll go with you. I don't mind. Doesn't bother me. Just like, sometimes I get bombers here. I'll turn you into a fucking listener if you ain't careful. Yeah, doesn't bother me. You can call me name. Hey, why are you doing it? It's not the only time I will cut out a chat is if it becomes name calling or somebody comes here trying to sell or peddle their wares. It's the only time I'll do it. But if you come on, I've had one guy come on, he's like, I'm drunk and I thought I was going to mess with you. I'm like, well, just sit and listen, man. You're all right. I know you came for that reason, but you still ended up here. If you end up with Dion, I tell you something. You either got something going on or you need something going on. It's the only reason that you would be around me. Growth, solution. It's what I am. When we became alcoholics, crushed by self-imposed crisis, we could not postpone or evade. We had to fearlessly face the proposition that either God is everything or he is nothing. God either is or he isn't. What was our choice to be? It's a hard one. And for alcoholics, it becomes even tougher, right? When somebody comes and gives me, what is it? Not a demand, but they want an answer right now. And I'm not willing to give an answer right now, but they want it right now. I will give the answer they don't want. Ultimatum. Yeah. Give an alcoholic an ultimatum. No, so this can be tough because this is an ultimatum when it comes down to it. God either is or he isn't. When it's black or white, it's an ultimatum. Now see how my reactive portion in me would have made it worse. Would have made it worse. You know? So what was our choice to be? Because I can tell you now, making the choice that God does not exist is actually going to have less consequences than not deciding at all. Yeah. Because you can't even make a fucking choice. You know, pick your passion and stick with it. Yeah. God either is or he isn't. See, the in-between place is where everything gets all fucked up. You're better off just not believing in God at all than sitting in the middle. Sorry, I had to mute and yell. Silence isn't it? Oh, you want me to? Are you telling me to shut up, Patricia? I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Yeah. Stop. Yeah. Just stop. Yeah. Stop and listen. Very good point. Arrived at this point, we were squarely confronted with the question of faith. Couldn't duck the issue. Some of us had already walked far over the bridge of reason toward the desired shore of faith. See, a lot of people have already tried it, found it wanting. I mean, we all grow up a little bit different. You know, my parents, I mean, you grow up in Utah back in the 70s, you're going to church. Okay, not so much now. But if you went to school in the 70s in Utah, you go to church twice a week. Now, my parents never went. They didn't go with us. My parents were never at that church with us. Well, my dad was some, but that's because his father was an organist for the tabernacle. Yeah. I'm actually directly related to John Taylor, who started Mormonism. I'm directly related to him on my father's side. Now, my sister, my little brother and sister, their father, who's the man that raised me, he is also directly related to John Taylor. So my sister is also my cousin. Welcome to Mormonism. All right. Sorry, I went off on a different direction with that. But it was fun. It was fun. And now I got you back. So The outlines and the promise of a new land brought luster to tired eyes and fresh courage to flagging spirits. Friendly hands stretched out in welcome. That, if you put yourself in the middle of the herd, that's what we call it, put yourself in the middle of the herd, that's what will happen. Find the right AA group. Okay, there's a qualification there. It used to be you'd go to any AA group, but I'm not going to go into it. But let's just say they're not all the same anymore, man. That's why I started my grassroots meeting, so I could have some real fucking AA. I need it. Hi, Amber. And Amber, great job on showing up to the group conscious, even though you were sick, and getting that done. Isn't it amazing how everybody wants to speak up till it's time? So I'm glad you and I went so we could get that done. Now more people can share. Now there's more service work. I don't know if you were there, but I told them, hey, during the week, since I'm helping pass this, I will help chair. So I will go ahead. I think I'm going to decide to make it my home group now that I've said my piece about cross talking. Okay. Now that I'm a part of, I can say, shut your damn mouth, quit cross talking. So, all right. I know you are. I don't know how women do that. Men are, when I can handle physical pain, but when it comes to being sick, I am whiny. So, absolutely. We needed it done. And I think everybody was very happy about it. Yeah. We got to do, our primary purpose is to stay sober and help other alcoholics to achieve sobriety. The other cool thing about that is we got to learn a little bit more about tradition. You were not there when Dan W. was trying to ask the group if we could put aside money for capitalist venture. I'm like, capitalist venture? No. Tradition 6 says, no, 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 no. I know what you're doing. He wants to save up enough money so that he can come see his friends in Colorado. That is not how AA works. I'm sorry. Okay. Just enjoy your time in Hawaii. All right. The outline, okay. But somehow we couldn't quite step ashore. Yeah, yeah, Ingrid, I was worried. Like a year ago, I was so worried about you. I am so glad we're past that. Thank you, God. Thank you. But somehow we couldn't quite step ashore. Perhaps we've been leaning too heavily on reason that last mile, and we didn't like to lose our support. I get that. I understand that. Oh, yeah. See, now we're talking alcoholically. We're just being honest, right? It's scary, and I don't want to lose my support. I don't know you people. It's not showing me anything, so I'm putting it up so I can see it. Okay, now I got to share it sometimes, or it doesn't show me what it is. When it's like the 100% or stickers and stuff, that's what it is. That was natural. Yeah, it was natural. So when a person comes in and says, I don't want to lose my support, guess what they are? Right on track. That means they're right on track. Yay! We're going to say, celebrate that shit. Okay? One of my friends yesterday, oh no, how is my friend? His name's Chad Gracie. He's the drummer of Live. And he said, woohoo. And I said, I don't know why, but woohoo. And he broke back. He's like, woohoo. Who knows why? Who gives a fuck? And he's not my friend. Chad Gracie, he's the guy that made me want to be a drummer. So That was natural, but let us think about it a little bit. Without knowing it, have we not been brought to where we stood by a certain kind of faith? For didn't we not believe in our own reasoning? Ah, ha, ha, ha. Yes, reasoning is a type of faith. Reasoning is a bridge to faith. Sure it is. You can reason through it. Look, that guy over there, he's got 28 days. Look, his eyes are already shining. What the hell's going on here? I know. Oh, I know. You got 30 years, but I don't fucking believe you. And they don't. So quit naming your time because they don't believe you. Okay. You don't need to name your time. If today's not your birthday, shut the fuck up. We don't care. We don't care. Okay. Doesn't matter. Did we not have confidence in our ability to think? What was that but a sort of faith? Yes, we have been faithful, objectively faithful to the God of reason. So, in one way or another, we discovered that we had been involved, that faith had been involved all the time. Oh, no. We were fooled again. This will piss some people off. No, I don't like being fooled. Do you like being fooled? I don't. When I feel fooled, I feel like I feel stupid. And if you make me feel stupid, I will rip you a new asshole. I'm going to owe you an amends if you make me feel stupid. It's just one of those reaction things. Okay. I was called stupid a lot. Crazy, stupid, passionate. That's the new one. I love your passion. Oh, thanks. Thanks. Okay. All right. Oh, no, I'm not. I'm just going to keep reading. We found too that we have been worshipers. Oh, yeah, we worshipped alcohol. Uh-oh. But that's not what they're going to say. What a state of mental goose flesh that used to bring on. Have we not variously worshipped people, sentiments, things, money, and ourselves? Oops. Oops. Yeah, I was talking to, just because I had a friend, atheist. Atheist means I don't believe in God or anything bigger than me. Okay. What was funny is he followed the tenets of AA. He loved it. He loved them. And what I mean is, like, one day at a time. Him and I wrote a game together, right? And originally the book was about 150 pages. We got it down to 30. Our concept was keep it simple. Okay. So him and his new fiance, we were at the bar, we were talking, and she was saying how fate had brought them together. Now, I talked about this in the podcast the other day with Pastor Marcia, right? And I told her, you can't. You're atheist. You're not allowed to believe in that. But I was making a point that maybe you're not as atheist as you think you are. That we have been worshiping certain things: money, alcohol, sex, people. See, my emotional sobriety was a type of faith. It had demands and expectations in it, but it was a type of faith. Doesn't mean it was the right one, but it was a type of. Well, wait a minute, then maybe I'm not as agnostic or atheist as I think I am. Okay. I'm talking out of the side of my head here because I've never been atheist nor agnostic. I've always believed in something bigger than me. How I worked it was not, right? Okay. And then a better motive, have we not worshipfully beheld the sunset, the sea, or a flower? How about your dog? You love your dog? Who of us had not loved something or somebody? How much did these feelings, these loves, these worships have to do with pure reason? Nothing. Okay. Love doesn't have reasons. It doesn't have reasons. Right? Little or nothing, we saw at last. So what does that mean? It means that I thought my feelings were fact, and I worshiped my feelings. Were not these things the tissue out of which our lives were constructed? Did not these feelings, after all, determine the course of our existence? It was impossible to say that we had no capacity for faith or love or worship. In one form or another, we have been living by faith and little else. Yeah. So this next part isn't my favorite part because I read it so much and I wish I had a different example. Imagine life without faith, where nothing left but pure reason. It wouldn't be life. But we believed in life. Of course we did. You know, what person doesn't ask, why am I here? Everybody asks themselves that sooner or later. Why am I here? Who are you asking? You're saying it out loud to nobody's around. Why am I here? Then who are you saying it to? You know? But it's not for me to run around and make other people believe in my higher power. Nope. No, you don't even need to believe in God and you can still be spiritual. I watch it happen all the time. I'm going to tell you, I don't know how it works. I just know it does. I don't need anything else. And there's proof in the pudding. Success rate has been happening for hundreds of thousands of years, right? We could not prove life in the sense that you could prove a straight line in the shortest distance between 2 points, yet there it was. Could we still say the whole thing was nothing but a mass of electrons created out of nothing, meaning nothing, whirling on to the destiny of nothingness? Of course we couldn't. The electrons themselves seemed more intelligent that, at least, so the chemist said. Neil deGrasse, he believes in God. He also believes in the Big Bang Theory. So, why can't both be true? Who said both can't be true? I don't know. I'm just asking. Hence, we saw reason is in everything. Neither is reason, as most of us use it, entirely dependable, though it emanate from our best minds. What about people who prove that man could never fly? How could you prove that they couldn't fly? That'd be tough to do, especially now with what we know. But gosh, you were born and you didn't think about air flight and your microwave and your phones and all these other things that bring your life a little bit more pleasure. Okay. I can tell you now, God is not convenience. That's not God. God doesn't do convenient, nor easy. But he will keep things simple. Yeah. Yet we had been seeing another kind of flight, a spiritual liberation from from this world, people who rose above their problems. I love watching this. They said God made these things possible, and we only smiled. We had seen spiritual release, but like to tell ourselves it wasn't true. All right, now they got Dion. Now they got Dion, okay? Because I wasn't atheist or agnostic, but I used to think, wow, how fucking weak of you. Oh, that's not for me. But that's not for me. It's for them, but it's not for me. What am I doing? I'm making myself terminally unique because I think I'm the only one with my problems. All right. So when I got into the program the first time when I was 15, I saw it happen. I watched it happen, but I didn't think it was for me. So I just smiled and said thank you. And then I went and hit on girls. All right. Actually, we're fooling ourselves, for deep down in every man, woman, and child is the fundamental idea of God. But here it comes. It may be obscured by calamity, by pomp, by worship of other things, but in some form or other, it was there. For faith in a power greater than ourselves and the miraculous demonstrations of that power in human lives are facts as old as man himself. They are fact. My experience, your experience, fact. It's all fact. It happened. And it's happening now. Every time we do this, every time we meet, every time we put our intentions together, we make the world a better place, including Colorado. Okay. Did you know that Colorado is the only state that did not improve in recovery? We fell from 48th to 50th. We're the only state that has more opiate deaths. Everybody else decreased by 10%. We went up by 4.6. It ain't working. And now suddenly everyone in the industry is quiet. I can hear crickets chirping in Castle Rock because they're lost. They don't know what to do. See, they left God. They left God because they wanted their pomp. They wanted people to worship them. I'll give you a good example. Okay, so we're in the group conscious. People like to use my name because they know I don't get offended, right? So I'm being used as an example in the group conscious, and I write Amber, and I said, I'm always the example, and she writes back and says, wow, what an alcoholic thing to say. There it is, right there. Good call out, by the way, Amber. I thought it was great. All right. What was she saying? Watch your ego, brother. Watch your ego. Yeah. But in a funny way. Ha. Why? Because God works in my life. I don't need anything else. He was much effect as we were. We found the great reality deep down within us. You're going to have to dig. It was the last analysis. It is only there that he may be found, and it was so with us. All right, I'm going to do one more paragraph. Even I may do the rest. I don't know. Who knows what I'm going to do? I don't know. So this is kind of what we do. If you are, you're here with Dion. So this is kind of what we do here. What we do is we clear the ground a little bit. I'm going to clear the ground for you. I'm going to sweep it. What is this? It's service work. It's service work. I'm going to, if I see you struggling in a meeting, I'm going to approach you. You bet. Because God's calling me. God's saying, Dion, you best get your ass over there because the consequence of not doing it sucks. I don't want the consequence. I don't want that consequence. I want a different consequence. Most of my consequences are good now. Now my consequences are dividends of great things like love and happiness. And I know I repeat this stuff over and over and over. Why? Because our forgetter works best. And I will forget. That's why we need each other. Yeah. And how do you know? How do you know that what Dion is saying is wrong? Because you're an alcoholic too, and you've been through it, and you said it before, and somebody said something to you. It's just experience. We can only clear the ground a little bit. If our testimony helps you sweep away prejudice, enables you to think honestly, and encourages you to search diligently with yourself, then, if you wish, you can join us on the broad highway. With this attitude, you cannot fail. The consciousness of your belief is sure to come to you. Yeah. And it's your consciousness, your belief, not mine, not your sponsors. No. Your higher power is specific to you out of all the billions of people in this world. And that's why loneliness should vanish. But at the same time, I can sit down and talk about my higher power, and you'll probably agree with me. But I can't get specific. I've never met them. I don't even know that they're a he. I don't even know that they have a gender. I don't know. I don't wonder. I don't care. I don't fucking care. It's working. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I think I'm going to keep going because this next part is okay. In this book, you will read the experience of a man who thought he was an atheist. His story is so interesting that some of it should be told now. His change of heart was dramatic, convincing, and moving. I don't know which story this is, but it's still got to be in the back, though. There you go. That's a great way to put it, Ingrid. If it doesn't affect your sobriety, let it be. Yeah. Then leave it alone. Wait it. Yeah. And it has to be simple for us like that, or I ain't going to understand it. I'll go, oh, okay. Yeah, thanks. I'll go on my merry way thinking I know better. Our friend was a minister's son. He attended church school where he became rebellious at what he thought an overdose of religious education. Yeah, okay. So what we have is a person who is the complete opposite of me. Now I had to go to church couple, but this guy, minister's son, those ones are tough. For years thereafter, he was dogged by trouble and frustration, business failure, insanity, fatal illness, suicide. These calamities in his immediate family embittered and depressed him. Post war disillusionment, which is PTSD, ever more serious alcoholism, impending mental and physical collapse brought him to the point of self destruction. One night, when confined in a hospital, you know, just like we say a head full of AA and a belly full of booze is horrible, but what about having all the knowledge of the Bible? Wow. I bet that's a different hell. I bet that's a different hell, man. I'm just trying to think of this dude here. So, one night, when confined in a hospital, he was approached by an alcoholic who had known a spiritual experience. Our friend's gorge rose as he bitterly cried out, if there is a God, he certainly hasn't done, and let's just do this, all right? If there is a God, he hasn't fucking done anything for me. This is how he said it. You know he did, right? What, I'm going to tell you one basic human trait. This is occurring to me. Okay? Didn't realize my step ladder was in the camera the whole time. Okay? I forgot what I was going to say. It'll come back to me. But later, alone in his room, he asked himself this question. Now I remembered. So, and this is a human being trait. If we are upset, we're going to take it out on the people we love the most first. It's a human trait. Okay. Now, alcoholics, we take that to an extreme. Now let's think about God. How much did I abuse God because it was just easy, because it was fucking convenient? How many times did I go to God because I was in trouble and needed help? How come I only went to God when I was in trouble? And he didn't get me out of trouble. No, he said no. He said no. Yeah, you know why? Because I wasn't willing to do anything about it. Not when you go to Zoom meetings in AA. No. But later, alone in his room, he asked himself this question. Is it possible that all the religious people I've known are wrong? Uh-oh. While pondering this answer, he felt as though he lived in hell. Then, like a thunderbolt, a great thought came to him. It crowded out all else. Who are you to say there is no God? That's humility. That's humility through and through. That's stop fighting. Who am I to say? I'm just some dude in Northland, Colorado trying to help people out. I'm not any better than, less than, or anything. I'm just another person doing the best that I can like everybody else. So who the fuck am I? I have no power in this world. See, I don't even get to make that decision. All right. This man recounts that he tumbled out of bed and to his knees. In a few seconds, he was overwhelmed by the conviction of the presence of God. Now, right now, that feels great, right? And I can feel it too. I can feel the conviction of God right now. But when I read this, God, how uncomfortable. Thank you for the educational variety, God. I know it too much for me. That would freak me the fuck out. I would go running. I would have. But what a neat experience for this person. But it was very specific. Very specific. It poured over and through him with a certainty and majesty of a great tide at flood. The barriers he had built through the years were swept away. Fucking awesome. He stood in the presence of infinite power and love. He had stepped from bridge to shore. For the first time, he lived in conscious companionship with his creator. I got the answer as to why this happened to him. Because our friend was a minister's son. He attended church school because he knew. Because he knew. Right? And that's why it was different. His education was a little different, and therefore it was specific to him. Thus was our friend's cornerstone fixed in place. No later vicissitude has shaken it. Alcoholic problem was taken away. That very night, years ago, it disappeared. Save for brief moments of temptation, the thought of drink has never returned. And at such times, a great revulsion has risen up in him. Seemingly, he could not drink even if he would. God had restored his sanity. It says a great revulsion. And see, here's the thing: his alcoholic problem was taken away that very night. But then they say that he's had brief moments of temptation. So no, it wasn't. No, it's not. I'm always going to be an alcoholic. I don't agree with everything the big book says. Now, they're not wrong. They're not wrong. But I don't have a great revulsion. I'm neutral to alcohol. That's why I was like, seemingly he could not even drink even if he would. So see how it could be different for people. Because his experience is fact. It's not wrong. What is this but a miracle of healing? Yes, yet its elements are simple. Circumstances made him willing to believe. He humbly offered himself to his maker than he knew. No alcoholic will ever get sober until the circumstances make them willing to believe. Why am I an alcoholic? So I would believe in God. So I could have a higher power in my life. Why am I an alcoholic? Because I can actually save somebody else's life. I have that, I don't want to call it power, but power. It's not willpower, it's a higher power. Because if I'm going to go help somebody, you know what I do? God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. God, please give me the right words. I'm an instrument of your peace. Talk through me. I'm here. I do it for the podcast. I do it for this. I do it when I go to AA meetings. I'll remember half of what I talk about. I don't know. Because I'm in the now. I'm not going to talk to you about what see? All right. That and I'm older and I don't remember everything. What is this but a miracle of healing up? He humbly offered himself to his maker, then he knew. Even so, God restored us all to our right minds. To this man, the revelation was sudden. Some of us grow into it more slowly. They covered it for us, didn't they? But he has come to all who have honestly sought him. When we drew near to him, he disclosed himself to us. And that disclosure is going to be different. Again, it's going to be different because you have different needs. You're a different person. And so that's going to be different. Isn't that neat? I wish I could be all things to everybody and I had a magic wand, but then this world would be a lot more fucked up. I guarantee it. Because then nobody would get alcohol. Everybody have a roof over their head. See, it's just not working already, is it? There'd be no borders, unconditional love. Yeah, see, I'm already off because it's probably not how it works. I don't know. You'd have to ask God. All right. I'm getting up earlier and the days are longer. All right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I appreciate it. I love you. Peace out and have a day.